Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video I want to focus on two ultra-wide lenses. I am going to focus on them like more in a vlogging way, and at the very beginning I will mention that it's not going to be a very deep dive into these both lenses, but lenses I want to talk about are Sony 14mm f1.8G master, and the second one is Sony 11mm f1.8. So the first one is full frame lens, and I will use it on a full frame. It will be Sony a7C II, and the second one is APS-C lens, and I'm going to use it on a Sony ZV-E10. From the very first sight you can see clearly the size difference, and also, as you can think, the Sony 14mm f1.8 will be much heavier, but the more specs I will write you in a corner in here on the screen, so I will not talk too much about this. So why I decided to compare them, it's clearly because they play in the same league, we can say. So 11mm will give us equivalent of 16.5 millimeters, and here we've got 14mm. So on the paper it should be much wider and visibly wider. So we will try this if we will get at least also a better image, because it's a G master and this is not even a G lens, so we should get much better image on the 14mm f1.8, which is this lens, and Sony 11mm f1.8, it's not so premium, so we will see if it even compete to the 14mm f1.8. Also we have to mention that it's some kind of a premium lens, and we have to also pay a premium price for it, and I want to check if is it any worthy, because we have to pay maybe 2.5 times more for the 14mm f1.8 than for the 11mm f1.8 for Sony ZV-10, more for a APS-C ecosystem. And also the reason why I'm going to compare it is because I'm selling all my full frame stuff, so I just want to see what I will lose when I will sell 14mm f1.8. And why I'm going to sell this full frame premium lens, it's clearly because I feel already like having full frame setups is a little bit too much, and it's a little bit too heavy, too big, too chunky, call it as you want, but I'm going to APS-C system right now, so I just feel like I need smaller and lighter things to make content. I will be not using any ND filters in this comparison, and it's because we all know that ND filters are destroying the image, but at the same time I just wanted to see the image as it is. So ND filters are always changing a little bit the image, so I want to see the true colors, true images from both of these lenses. Okay, and let's make a first shot. On my left hand I have 11mm from Sony, on my right hand I've got 14mm from Sony, both of course set on f1.8. Also ISO is set on 100, and I've got a shutter speed around 1/2000, because I didn't want to use any ND filter as I mentioned before. And any of this camera is set with the steady shot, so we have any stabilization in here. I have standard stabilization on Sony a7C II, so it means that it is a sensor stabilization. So I think that already I see that A7C and 14mm is visibly wider, and in a second I will check how it works with active stabilization on Sony A7C, and on the ZV-E10 I will use gyro stabilization, so I will crop a little bit, I think around 10mm, 10% on the ZV-E10. So let me know in the comment section how you see these both images side by side. I think that this wideness difference seems to be kind of big for me. I see that 14mm G Master seems to be much wider. It's a little bit of surprise for me. Also, both of cameras are set on the auto. Also, both of cameras are set on auto white balance, and at this time I have active stabilization on Sony A7C II, and I have gyro stabilization on ZV-10. So I will crop 10% on ZV-E10, and I think I also have around 10% crop of 14mm f1.8, which you can see right now, and this is how it looks. At least I already see that A7C II has a better screen, so but I don't know if it means that the colors of the lens is better, and I will tell that if I am looking right now on the screens when ZV-E10 has no image stabilization right now, I see it no stabilized, but you will see it stabilized after gyro flow, and it seems right now that the images are similar. So 10% crop on 14mm seems like the same image size on the ZV-10, and 11mm without any crop. And this is also the moment where we should mention about size and weight, and I feel like I can feel it right now in my hands that 14mm setup is visibly more heavy, but it's not so huge as I thought that it can be. So 14mm is not so bad in terms of weight when I want to vlog on my straight hands. So it's of course a point for 11mm, but it is not so huge point as I was thinking it will be. So the first one, side by side static shot, I put both of the cameras in the same distance from me. So this is how it looks. At the beginning I already saw that on the screens Sony 14mm f1.8 I feel like gave me more nice image, but it's just on a camera screen, so it's not the best to judge by this. But I also saw that 14mm is a bit wider and it is just visible. So I also think that you can already see a little bit more bokeh, and right now I just set shutter speed on 1/640, and I see that on the screens that my shield is a little bit overexposed, but as I mentioned, I didn't want to use any ND filters because we all know that ND filters just destroy the image. And let's check the minimum focus distance on both of these cameras. I feel like 11mm is better in here. 14, something around in here, and 11mm, something like that. So it feels like 11 millimeters is clear winner in here. And let's get a little bit closer to see the bokeh difference, because I think that it can be also important in terms of vlogging and general image. Well, okay, and let's get a little bit closer, because I think it can be kind of important for especially vlogging guys, that we see what's the image on the background and how we can get separate. And I think that 14mm will be better in here, because it's a full frame lens, and on the 11mm when we have 16.5 equivalent, and the depth of field equivalent around 2.7, so I suppose that on the 14mm right here we have much more bokeh in the background. And of course the settings of both cameras are the same. Sorry, I gave a little bit faster shutter speed on 11mm, so it can be a little bit darker. That's it. And right now I just because as you could see on the side-by-side shot, I put the camera one and another to the side, but they are on the both different tripods, and right now I will use only one tripod, and I will just switch the camera, so we have 100%, we can be 100% sure that we can see the field of view from the same spot. So this is the shot from the 14mm f1.8. This is how wide it is, and in a matter of seconds we will see 11mm f1.8 from the very same place, and we will see how wide is it compared to 14mm f1.8.
And at the end, let's see two shots cropped 400% at f1.8 and at f8 side by side, and let me know in the comment section which lens would you choose. Thank you for watching, guys. See ya.